Flair Cobbs.
What up, what up?
What up?
It's the one and only Blair The Flair. Let's get into this.
Get your hand out of my pocket!
Blair The Flair, what's good with you, brother?
Oh man, life is good. We're just working things out. I'm free from Don King, so right now we're just cracking at it, trying to make sure that we get another good promotion.
Okay, so no more Don King. Well, how'd you get out of that? Because they said Don King, he make you sign it in blood on a toilet paper. They said you got to walk through 5 elevators. How'd you get out of Don King? Lord, child.
Oh man, I had to do things that like only high-end business people do. I had to do a few things and make sacrifices,
That's what's up, man.
But those sacrifices have to be made under the circumstances that I believe that I can do what I can do.
Right. So you got what a new management right now?
Yeah. I'm with Elliot. People call him Napper. He's a great manager. And he's fighting to get me to the right places. But I also have other friends that help me out too along the way. I got Marcus. He's always been there. Marcus Smith. So I'm just I'm not alone.
That's what's up, man. How'd you link up with your current new manager? How'd you link up with him, and how do you like it so far?
Well, I like it. It's a longer process than I expected, but no, it's been good. It's been good. I linked up with him. Basically, I've been running into him almost every time I show up to these events. I show up to the let's say the sanctioning bodies, banquets and things like that, and he's always working. He's always taking a stab at it. He's always working is the thing. And then like I had managers before that just wasn't working enough.
Right.
And it was really hard for me to move forward in my career. So it was a trying time in my life, whereas I'm trying to make things happen, and like no matter what I do, it just wasn't good enough. So
Right.
then I had to make a decision, even though I love the people that I was with, but I had to make the right decision.
Yeah, 100%. Like how does that feel? Like you in the gym, you constantly in the gym, you working out, and like is you like waiting for a call for a date for a fight, or is it like how is that process? Like you in the gym every day and you see other fighters, they getting fights. Like how is that?
It's very frustrating. I mean, honestly, but that's what I am. I'm the ultimate underdog. So like right now, I'm chopping at it. Look, you guys, I love it or hate it. If you're coming into this sport in this present state with nothing and no name and nothing, and you trying to get somewhere, you starting from zero, from nothing to become something, then that's Blair the Flair. So I am basically I'm the Rocky movie, and you get to see it in 4K.
That facts. So I mean, probably like your childhood probably groomed you for like these like tough times. Like you spent time growing up in Mexico?
Yeah. Actually, I have a crazy background. I was born in Philadelphia, in the
Mm.
slums of Philly, and then I did a lot of traveling. My mother and my father, they were both traveling a lot, and next thing you know it, I'm living a very interesting life in Beverly Hills and have a mansion in Hollywood. We're flying airplanes and the Bentley Continental, we had that before it even came out. And
Damn.
before, like at that time period, yeah, like the very first time it dropped, my father had that car, and we were driving around in Hollywood and living a very interesting life. And honestly, it felt like it was normal. It was very, very normal. It felt like, you know what I'm saying? Because we're living in Beverly Hills. I'm like, everybody has a Bentley. Well, you might not have a Bentley because it didn't come out yet.
Right.
You'll have one next year. You know what I'm saying? You don't have an airplane? I mean, we all have airplanes. It just felt like it was normal, you know? It didn't
Damn.
feel like something was out of place until next thing you know it, the FBI is all down my back and they ransacked the house looking for I guess evidence and things like that. Everything's tore up and flipped upside down and I got to look on CNN and see my father's face, and that's almost like how I actually know what's going on because like I'm like Jesus,
What?
well, like you all of a sudden he goes up missing and you don't hear from him, and then you just like, you know what, let me turn on the news. That's the only way you find out. You find out that shit and it's like, oh my God, I never known. You know, I'm a
Wow.
kid that's living in a kid's place, in a kid's space. And even though all of this amazing things is happening, it felt very normal. And so after all of that shit was done, yeah, El Chapo, all that stuff were I knew as kids and stuff like that. So
Wow.
after all of that stuff and being in Mexico where I had nothing and nobody, I had no life, period. You know what I mean? And like I had no past and I have no future. So I'm
Uh-huh.
just living in the present. And at that time, I'm just like I'm basically with all the other cartel kids and we're doing reckless shit. I mean, how fast can I kill myself? Well, like you know what? We're racing, we're getting chased by police and doing all kinds of shit, and they can't stop us. We just pay them off, and they just disappear. Boom. We make a
Right.
call, they disappear. Boom. We can do anything we want. We had a lot of freedom at age 15, 16 years old. You know what I mean? And in that time period where I was losing myself and trying to find myself, I found myself boxing. You know what I mean? In my deepest and darkest stage in life, you know, where I just really didn't give a fuck. I mean, that's the real reason why I didn't really obtain
Right.
like a fluency with Spanish, even though I was there for 3.5 years. Bro, almost all my fucking high school years was out there. You know what I mean? I
Wow.
only spent like a year in Beverly Hills High and then shit went sideways. You
So
know, and
how'd the dialect work? Like how'd you get through school not knowing Spanish and shit like that?
oh, it was a bilingual school, and I got through school by just sleeping, motherfucker. Like what's like, bro? It never mattered whether like I passed or not because I don't actually exist.
Mm.
All of my whole identity is made up. And matter of fact, you know what's funny? It gets crazy when you got multiple identities. So much so that you like you stumble over very, very common, easy questions.
Right.
Like, so what's your name? Yeah, Alfonso. You
That's
know,
right. Wow.
and like you live this life so long, and you're in this gray area of trying to find your identity, but you have no identity, and now you fucking lost your shit, Blair the Flair. You know,
Wait, okay, so when was that moment where, like, what was going to the gym the first time? Like, how was that experience? Like, putting on the gloves for the first time, headgear. Like, break that down for us. How was that, bro?
okay, my first boxing experience is this. Now, I was naturally a good fighter coming from Philadelphia, and I've always took to like boxing and wrestling just out in the streets, and I always had a whole lot of street fights. Anybody in Philly that I might have like slid you or hurt you or slammed you on the floor on the ground, whatever, whoever the hell is watching and like I hurt them, I'm sorry. Okay, I was a fucking delinquent. Okay, like just I'm not the same person.
Right,
you know,
right,
you know what I
right.
mean? But yeah, I hurt a lot of people, and like I think back because I got kids. I'm like, God damn, if I had seen some kid doing some crazy shit to my son like that or my daughter like that, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was slamming people, like it was just crazy. But regardless,
Wait,
so I'm going to boxing in the
wait. So you
fucking
just
gyms of
punking people?
Mexico,
Wait, so you was just
huh?
punking? You just punking niggas in the neighborhood?
No, man. Well, my fucking family kind of treated me like a fucking fight dog. You know what I mean?
Oh
I was
shit!
abnormally strong for my age, red hair and all that shit, and stuck
Right.
out like a sore thumb. And they're like, and my family basically treated me like some type of fight dog. Like, oh yeah, well we're gonna just put you up against the whole block. And then
Mm.
like I just beat everybody up, everybody. It was bad, but I was abnormally strong, abnormally fast, extremely agile. Like I was one of the youngest people to ever do a double backflip
Oh
on
shit!
ground in the street. Like who the
Damn.
fuck is doing that at 5? That's
Right.
crazy. You know. So you have wild shit going on. And so I'm messed up. I'm in Mexico. One of my friends, another kid that's in a similar situation, and I'm like, yo, you know what? I want to go to a boxing gym, and like
Huh?
we go to a boxing gym. We go all the way into the slums of Guadalajara, and we find this gym called Camude Boxing Gym, and I immediately put the gloves on and get in the ring.
Mm.
I beat up the first guy that I got in the ring with. Matter of fact, I never saw him again. That sparring session lasted every bit of like 5 seconds.
You
I
stopped him?
was I stopped him. Bang, boom, pop,
Ooh.
boom, and like, but let's not get this twisted. I took all his punches though.
Okay. Okay.
I was still like I was learning boxing from Rocky. Rocky just took them bitches, so I just took them hoes. Bow, 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 until he got tired. Like in it, until he took like one break. I'm like, okay, it's my turn now.
Right.
And
Right.
yeah, beat that dude up. But then the next guy, his name was Arturo.
Okay.
I like shit. I might even post him one day. This is the first man to whip my ass. He was actually he was a big time professional fighter in Guadalajara, but he couldn't get a fight. He couldn't get a fight, and he kind of got shelved because of it. He was a extremely good technical fighter. He actually taught me the shoulder roll and all that shit back in the day. Well,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, he gets in the ring with me. I didn't know him at first. I'm just like I'm just going to do the exact same thing I've been doing, bouncing around. I circle around, then I let off some awkward shots and I put a pounding on guys, pause. And what ends up happening, all he did was just sit there. He just
Uh-huh.
sat there and just withstand the bullshit that I was doing. Like he tried to keep up with my movement patterns and then just block. And the crazy thing is, I didn't know how long a round is.
Oh shit. So you just
Yo,
done.
like after the first 20 seconds, like I remember I had a videotape. After the first 20 seconds, it was ass whooping time. I was getting my ass whooped for real. Like,
Damn.
you know. So he beat my ass in my first day, and I got knocked down, everything to the body. Boom, I went down, and I came back. I'm not dead yet. So
Mm.
I gotta come back.
Mm.
And I just
Gotta come back.
kept coming back, and I got better and better and better. What ends up happening, then after 2 weeks, they're like, you know what? I think you're good for a fight. I'm like, really? You think I'm good for a fight? I just started. He's like, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
You know what? You need to just go ahead and fight. After 2 weeks of training, I had my first fight. And then and then I just kept having fights like almost every weekend or every other week. I had a fight. I never had to make weight or nothing. Because it didn't really matter whether I made weight or not. It's not like I could even it's not like I had a scale. You know what I
Right.
mean? Then all the
Right.
scales is in kilograms. I don't know what the fuck this means. All I know is that like I gotta fight some giant motherfucker that ain't nowhere near my size.
Right.
And I would get these big giant knockouts. I'll always win, But honestly, I think the only reason why I was winning every fight was because I really didn't give a fuck. I really didn't
Damn.
give a fuck. They kept Canelo away from me when we were amateurs. He had to fight on the undercard because like when it came to me, they put me up against the giants. Canelo would have got his ass killed
You would
in
have
that
cooked
ring.
Nello? You would have cooked Nello?
Yeah, I would have cooked Canelo. You know what I mean? I remember when I pulled up to his gym,
Okay.
um, for his trainer to train me, let me tell you something. I was extremely upset when what's it called it ended up training with him. Anthony Joshua,
AJ?
because
Yeah.
way back in the day, they didn't accept me. Even though I was exceptional. I ran, I did the runs because we all looked up to Lobo.
Right.
Um what's the guy name? Oscar Larios. We
Okay.
all looked up to Oscar Larios. So I was training with Oscar Larios. The guy that actually brought me in to Eddie Reynoso's gym was
Uh-huh.
Oscar Larios' father. Oscar
Okay.
Larios' father, Chololo Larios, we call him. You know what I mean? That the
Right.
nickname came from his father. Chololo Larios brought me in, and he believed in me. He's like, oh, he's the only guy that really believed in me and shit. You know what I mean? Everybody else is like, man, sooner or later somebody's gonna kill him. You
Somebody gonna
know, it's
take
just
him.
yeah, somebody. It's just we can't do it. Like, like so,
Right.
that ends up happening and fucking,
Wait,
and
so
what
when
ends up
you say they
happening
didn't
is
accept you, when you say they didn't accept you, what do you mean?
they didn't
Because
accept me. They
because you,
said that I wasn't Mexican. I wasn't Mexican
oh,
enough.
okay. Wow. That's
Honestly, I
crazy.
think it was just because of that language barrier, honestly.
Mhm.
And not to mention right at that particular time, they were trying to get Canelo moving, and like somebody like me was a huge threat to them at the time, because while in this particular time, in this particular season, I was like the guy in these little smoker amateur fights that they had.
Right.
And I remember when they turned him professional, and everybody was saying, "Yo," they called me at the time. They used to call me Apollo, as
Mm.
an Apollo Creed.
Uh-huh.
I'm the real Apollo, bro. Like, so they call me Apollo Creed because of the afro, and I had the bounce, and I would talk a lot of shit, even though, some of it was English and some of it was Spanish. Like, So at the time where they wanted me to turn pro because they wanted to go ahead and like, yo, man, you can knock this motherfucker out, and they'll pay you like 300 pesos or something. Like, they'll pay you like 300, 400 pesos, which is really like $40 or some shit. You know
Right.
what I mean? Which really didn't matter to me. But like, you can beat this guy before you become somebody. I never known that he'll actually become somebody. I just thought that he was just some redheaded kid that they kept away from me, and they kept me fighting like the biggest giants that they could find. Like, and
Damn. So
that
you didn't
season,
do
that
the
season went.
amateurs. So you didn't do the amateurs. You did the Mexico route, kind of like Devin Haney did. Would you would say?
No, no, because I was actually boxing in what we call pro am fights and pro am
Okay.
tournaments,
Okay.
but they were more so just street fights in a ring without a cup, without tape, nothing. They're just going bam, and just, and if you hurt them, you finish them. And the
Damn.
one that wins the fight, the reason why I won all the fights is because I won the crowd. Because the only person that wins is the person that won the crowd. So I will come in as a heavy underdog, fucking go ahead and fight, like, you know what I mean, and everybody's booing, and then they're cheering at the end, and when they raise the guy's hands, they will raise my hand, and I took the crowd. You know what I mean? So it was my veracity and my resilience that kept me
Does,
winning.
does that give you like dog? Like, does that put that dog in you? Like, when shit get tough in like a fight now, you can like, all right, I done been through some shit where I got to fight for the crowd. If the crowd not cheering, they say I'm losing, so I got to keep going. Does that give you that dog in you that you got?
Yeah, like what ends up happening is I've always been that person. So the thing is, right? Like, let's put it like this, and I see Bill Haney over here talking shit in the comments. Check this out.
No, that might be
Like,
fake Bill Haney. There's a fake Bill
uh,
Haney. Is it? No, that's Hill Baney. No, that's not really
Bill
Bill.
Haney.
That's a legend. That's Hill Baney. That's a legend right there. That's not the real Bill.
I'm about to say, well, anyways, I've been in places that most people don't that don't see comfortable. Like
Okay.
I'm not uncomfortable with odds stacked against me.
Mm.
I'm not uncomfortable with fighting for a promotion that wants me to lose. I'm not fucking uncomfortable in a position where as though like I look at the betting odds and the only person that's betting on me is my mom and my mom's dead. You know what I'm saying? So like ain't nobody betting. The odds is like 30 to 1 favor. You know what I mean?
Mm.
The other guy. I don't mind being in that position whereas though when I step out into that ring and the whole world is you know is booing me and trying to and trying to discourage me because it only fuels me. I honestly I don't feel comfortable any other way. So what ends up happening, that's kind of like the what like gives me that dog. Like I like to say this.
Okay.
I learned I learned how to fight in Mexico. I
Mm.
learned basic boxing skills in New York, and then I learned how to I learned how to be an actual like actually how to strategize and special effects techniques to refine my skills
Right.
in Philadelphia. And then I learned how to be a showman in Las Vegas. What you have is a complete fighter, a complete
Complete.
megastar. Now, what now the whole thing is you can say, "Oh, this person's better," but it's funny how that motherfucker don't ever want to see me in the ring. It's funny how somebody like Boots don't ever want to see me in the ring. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're like, this motherfucker ends up turning blind the moment I pull up. Oh shit. You know what I mean? Like the only nigga that sees me is his father. He's like, oh yo, what up? Yo, we know him. But like, you know what I mean? I was about to trade him, remember? Like, but like him, oh shit, he like
Why they try to act like you're not from Philly though? Like, but like they say, okay, Boots, that's a Philly fighter. I believe Tevin Farmer, he's a Philly fighter as well. Why don't they associate Blair with Philly? Because you a Philly fighter, bro. You from Philly.
well, I've always been an outcast. But
Mm.
honestly, I represent Philly probably a lot better than somebody like Boots. See, Boots have it all. Boots have it all. He has the prestigious trainer that's his father. He has all of these brothers that probably weren't not nearly successful, but he has a lot of what we call people behind him, backing him.
Right.
See, but the thing is, the people of Philadelphia ain't got shit. They ain't got no fucking backing. You know what I mean? They doing everything from the fucking muscle. You know what the fuck oppression is? You'll find out when you show up to Philly.
I heard.
And the thing is, that's what I am. I'm fighting against the odds. I'm fighting with almost little to no backing. I'm fighting against oppression. I'm fighting against all of those things. And like how many times people have tried to block me? Come on, like Golden Boy after the fucking what Maurice Hooker fight,
Right.
absolutely demolished him. Everybody thought I would lose. You know what I mean? That was only 3 weeks after the Rocha fight. They said no, we're not going to give you Virgil. He's too much. You're too much of a risk. But you said, yeah, we're not going to do that. Matter of fact, we're not going to release you either. So after your contract's up, we're not going to release you. Okay, well, now you owe me $1 million.
Mm.
You fucking wasted my time. So now I have to sue you. But that's
Mm.
how it goes. But and like, come on, even with the Broner fight, we had the Broner fight, right?
Right.
The promotion did not expect that. And they damn sure didn't expect that kind of ass whooping.
Wait. So they thought Broner was gonna beat you?
Yeah, they thought Broner was gonna beat me, and then they were
Oh,
gonna sell Broner to Bill Haney, and then guess what? They were gonna make a good money off of that fight and blase. And even after the fight, they tried to make a fight happen because they're bitches. They're bitches. Stop playing. You know what you is, Bill and Devin. Like, you know what I mean?
wait. Devin Haney and Bill Haney is bitches?
Well, I'm not going to say the B word, but It's
Okay.
definitely some suspicious activity and some musty energy going
The
on there.
musty energy. Hold on. We need the musty energy, man.
Get your hand out of
Come
Hold on.
on, hit me with the musty.
energy.
Might be that musty. That's correct. So, Blair, how come there's fighters like you that are like, there's mad fighters like you in the gym that, like Albert Bell, stuff like that. You're too much of a risk. Do they like sign y'all, then try to shelf y'all, or like give y'all like a fake black ball? Like what? Like, bro, you're entertaining, bro. Like you're one of the few boxers which you can make an action figure off of. Like kids would be like, oh, I need to go watch the Blair The Flair fight because you're exciting. The youth would fuck with you. Why is it that you guys are like blackballed somehow?
Because I don't know. I like honestly, what I think is that these promotions, they've gotten so used to how they think things should be, and then the times have changed. The times have changed so much that like who cares?
Mm,
Like right now we're getting to a point where like it really doesn't matter. Like Jake Paul is probably one of the biggest pulls in gates right now, and it didn't
facts.
matter whether he was white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian, Hispanic. He just had a really good following, and really it was really about, is he exciting? Yes, he does a lot of promoting outside the ring. What does Blair do? He promotes outside the ring. What other fighter in the world even has a freaking phrase? Muhammad
Exactly.
Ali, my great uncle.
Right. Bro,
You
we
know,
got, hold on. Is Jake list? I got to get you on MVP, bro. Would you work with MVP?
absolutely. I think MVP is probably the best bet for somebody like me that's fighting
Facts.
against all of these basic promotional setups where like I'm kind of like I'm not hating on what they're doing. I love what they're doing and I have nothing but love for, like, even though I've been hurt by us, the Golden Boy six
Right.
situation, I
Right.
still love them and I love everything that they've ever done. It's just a different time period. And Blair The Flair fits into that category of
Facts.
what we need. And so I'm not trying to down them, but I think that things need to be a little bit different now, and it's okay to give that little bit of power to these fighters. I mean, if they deserve it. People like me actually deserve it. I mean, you
Nah,
gave
bro.
all this power to Ryan, but what would I do to Ryan? Really?
Okay.
Um,
Wait, so
you
what
give all this
happened in
power
that
to Virgil,
sparring?
but
What
what would
happened?
I do to Virgil? Make his ass make 47 and
Mm,
see how long that lasts. It won't last long. Now, no, that's the crazy thing though, you know.
bro,
Like,
you
so they always try to get me knocked off with like a late notice with Rocha, but then like three months later, I prove to you that's a fluke, and now they're scared, and then they wait 2 years. Now Broner thinks that I'm too dusty now because I've been 2 years laid off. It's about time to go ahead and cash out that money and knock Blair The Flair off. I mean, he wasn't 2 years off. He had a fight.
right.
He's already ready to go. He's got one of the best trainers in the world, all that stuff. But I got a good team too, and I prepared. And if anything, I got faith in God. So what ends up happening, that fight didn't go the way they planned, and it keeps going over and on and on and on and on again.
Wow.
You know,
So
the only
with
reason why I got put on with Golden Boy is because I fought a fight that I wasn't supposed to take very early in my career.
mm,
Okay, I fought a guy named Ferdinand Karubian who was a Armenian Olympian, and he was a big guy, you know what I mean, and he was at 47. They wanted me to fight him at 54 when I was really coming up from 140. And then I said, you know what? Let's fight at 47, and you know what? You guys will get a fight from me. They kept offering it and offering it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, bro, I'm not 54 though. I'm a 140 pounder. And then
right.
and then finally, I got to a point where I couldn't make 40 anymore. I'm like, you know what? I'll be at 47 now, and they're like, all right, look, you got to fight him or we're going to drop you. I'm like, okay, what you going to give me though? Oh, we're going to give you the NABF junior title. I'm like, I bet. I'm a kid that don't know shit. Like, what you said, a belt? Oh, I'm taking it. I
Right.
took that
Right.
shit. Let me tell you, when I signed the contract to fight that fucking fight, not even my fucking trainers believed in me. You know why?
Why?
2 weeks before the fight, I had to fire my goddamn trainers because
Yeah.
they were fucking they didn't believe me. They're like, oh man, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, you know what? I think I'll just find somebody else. They're like, oh, perfect, good. I'm like, all right, cool. I point to any motherfucker in the goddamn gym. I say, yo, you. And the fucking trainer like, huh? He's like, yo, I'm about to go win this fucking belt. You want to come win this belt? He's like, yeah, cool. You know what I mean? It didn't even matter if he was a crackhead. I was like, you know what? We're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? And fucking we go to the fucking goddamn fights. I'm in the goddamn dressing room. You know what I mean? And the guy and the host of the fights, his name is Beto Duran. He
Okay.
peeks his head in the dressing room. And he peeks his head in the dressing room and he's like, so you're Blair the Flair? I'm like, I take off my headphones. I'm alone because crackheads tend to disappear and reappear. You know what I mean? I'm just hoping that he shows up for the fight.
Wait,
You
here's
know
a
what I
real
mean?
here's a real crackhead?
Well, like, I'm pretty sure he dealt with, like, with substance abuse. I'm not going to
Okay.
say that he's a crackhead. I'm just going to say he does with substance abuse,
Okay.
and they tend to disappear sometimes. So he
Right.
disappeared. He's been gone for a minute. He gave me a couple pad works. I got my hand wrapped by
And then he
by
spawned back.
one of
He
the cut
just
men's.
he just spawned
He
back out of nowhere.
disappeared and then he reappeared. He disappeared, reappeared. So I'm in the dressing room alone. Then Beto Duran peeks his head and he says, "Oh," he said, "Hey." I take my headphones off. He's like, "Yeah, you're Blair the Flair." Yeah, I'm Blair the Flair. So you do the woo? I'm like, yeah, I could do the woo. I look on my phone, I see Ric Flair. I'm like, oh, perfect. Yeah, I remember that guy. And then next thing you know it, you got Blair the Flair. You know what I mean? With the woo and all that stuff. And then not to mention a few more consecutive fights of I should be killed. You know, I fought another undefeated fighter. I fought another undefeated fighter. You know what I mean? I fought a black dude named Robert Redman right after that was technically undefeated. They had a
Uh-huh.
loss, right? But I looked it
Right.
up. They fucking robbed him, and like he's just that underdog guy that, like, you know what I mean, that nobody wants to fight. Fucking
Damn.
stop that. And then I fucking had to fight this other dude named Villalobos. You know what I mean? Knocking shit out. This fucking Mexican dude that's tatted all the way up to here. He's an SA if you ever seen one. You know?
Damn. I would have been terrified.
Don't fuck me up,
Yeah.
Steven. Because we actually still cool. You know what I mean? So I'm like, we're fighting. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? And like he's a fucking undefeated fighter. I'm like, God damn, I'm just fighting killers after killers. You know what I'm saying? He fucking knocked me down horribly. They got a picture. They got a picture of like the referee standing on top of me, ready
Damn.
to wave me out when I fucking went down. And I got up and won the fight. Won the fight by knockout. You know what I mean? In the later rounds, I think it was like round 9. And that's just been consistently one thing after the next. I've been constantly put against the ropes, put against the odds. So somebody like Bill Haney, I have no fear. What I do know is that, like, Devin will lose. He will lose. He can't
Why
tiptoe
you
around
think
a fight with me.
why you think
He
Devin
can't.
ain't pick you? Why you think Devin ain't pick you? Why you think Devin Haney didn't pick you this last time?
Because I would beat him. You know what I mean? Because he knows that, like, it will be very interesting how he could figure out how to con his way through a fight. I mean, because that's what he's doing. He's conning through the fight. He figures out a way to slow the pace down to such a degree that he could just land anything. And then you don't land too much, you win the round. He just wants to win the rounds. But that doesn't work against somebody like me. You know what I mean? Obviously, I mean, I'm pretty sure people saw the damn sparring. You know what I mean? That they constantly blasted on the internet. I didn't post that shit, but that
Right.
was them. And they thought they were saucy frosty with it. But then actually, most people thought, like, you know what? you might have actually lost that one. So it is what it is.
What do you think about what do you think about Turkey Al Sheik and the Tom and Jerry stuff? What do you think about that?
I mean, I totally agree and totally understand. I mean, honestly, I think it was just because Devin Haney have like figured out something that was unbelievable.
What do you
He
figure
did
out?
something. He did something that only amateurs do, and he was able to sustain it for 12 rounds. It was absolutely remarkable. I'm not going to lie about that.
What
It
what
was
he do?
absolutely remarkable.
What he
But
do?
oh yeah, he ran. Not he didn't move. He ran and hit and ran the whole time. It was quite remarkable, honestly, because that like to keep up that kind of speed and that kind of pace of feet. I mean, granted, he wasn't throwing as much. He was able to just like pow and then get off, and pow and get it off. But it just made his opponent like have absolutely no real time to exchange punches because Devin didn't want to exchange punches, and it was a shame because what we really want to know is Devin better? Like, yeah, you might be able to hit and move and hit and well, not hit and move, but actually hit and run. I mean,
Right.
that's just because you're talented. But are you actually a better fighter? Can you cover up? Can you block? Can you catch? Can you slide to the side? What can you do that people can think like, you know what? If you ran into Ryan, maybe you wouldn't have got knocked the fuck out. It's and it didn't prove anything. It didn't prove anything. It looked like honestly like Ryan probably would have caught him regardless of the whatever substance
Oscarine.
that they ostrine that come on, who the hell even talks about ostrine? That's a
No.
new substance that people talking about now because of Ryan. Like, and I don't know, that was all a gimmick to figure out a way to not get a person to not have a O on your record. And I feel like they should have just go ahead and take your loss and bounce back. Show
Bounce
people
back.
what greatness is what about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Show people what greatness is about. Can you do what Blair the Flair did? 3 months later, fight a better fighter
Mm.
and win? Like an ex-world champion and win? I mean, if you could do that, I
They,
mean, maybe
wait,
maybe you are the dream.
so so against Jose Ramirez, do you feel like he was running or was he boxing using lateral movement? Was that like running?
It got to a point where at first I thought like, you know what, this is good lateral movement. And then it just seemed like, you know what, he's just doing a little too much of this. It's just running. It's just running. And it's a shame because I love what he did. It was very impressive from like a boxer point of view, not a fan point of view. If I'm a fan, I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? And as a fighter, I'm like, is he okay? Like, why is he so jittery? Why is he moving so much? And then
Wow.
and then it dawned on me, I'm like, you know what? That's pretty amazing if he's able to keep that up. But at the same time, I guess like when he got hit, it must have really hurt, that to a point where they were like, you know what, we don't want to ever get into an exchange anymore. We just want to hit and run. And like it's a shame because I would have loved to see him just come back. And I really didn't want to see a fucking overly hyped fucking tune up and just see the guys fight again. You know what I mean? And
Right.
regardless whether you just got your ass whooped again or you came back and won. I mean, there's a lot of good fighters out there that got knocked out against an opponent and then came back and won. Came back and knocked their guy out or whatever. And we didn't get to see that.
So
Why?
so
Because they're cowards.
so in your opinion, it is Brian Norman Jr. all wrong for Devin Haney? Or what's is this a 50-50, 60-40? Like, why would he choose
Who promotes the fight?
Turkey?
Turkey. Oh,
Turkey.
well, let's put it like this. Devin Haney could single-handedly ruin boxing. Devin Haney can single-handedly make Turkey Al-Sheikh and all his passion for boxing be like, you know what, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna put Dana White at the head of it and just take care of everything, and everybody gets paid dog crap and start killing each other. You know what I mean? Devin Haney could ruin it all single
Wait,
handedly.
wait, so against Brian Norman Jr., Devin has the ability to ruin the sport of boxing in one night?
Yeah, in one night. Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
What off the running or what? Like how? How, Blair?
Let's put it like this. It
Okay.
wasn't about Ryan. Whether he won or lost, it didn't really matter. We all got to see a fight. At the very least, we saw a fight. But when somebody like Turkey Al-Sheikh has to make a public announcement that is really stating what you did in the fight, that's just a little bit ridiculous. When somebody like Turkey Al-Sheikh has to make a public announcement, and you over here like happy go lucky because you won, like nobody cares that you won, bro. It's how you won. Like nobody cares about like how the fight went. It's who you fought. Why was you fighting this guy? Nobody even heard from this guy for like 3-4 years. I haven't heard from him since he fought the guy I fought, Maurice Hooker.
Right.
That's been a long time ago. And I get it. You got like Oscar De La Hoya just throwing Mexicans left and right. But like at the same time, like we wanted to see something better. We wanted to see Ryan Garcia jump back in there with the guy that was absolutely demolishing you and made a mockery of you all over the internet. We wanted to see you come back against that guy. Not him just lose to Rolly Romero. You know what I mean? Honestly, Rolly he wasn't really supposed to be in that fight in the first place. Like, honestly, if anybody was supposed to be there, it was supposed to be me. I mean,
Yeah.
Rolly hasn't looked good in a long time.
Yeah, I was disgusted.
I'm coming off a fight with a 4-division world champion. I mean, what kind of names they got on their resume? Bill Haney, Devin Haney got Lomachenko. You know what I mean? But like these big names is hard to find. So
yeah. So to wrap up Devin and Brian Norman Jr., you think is he going to be running that fight? Is he going to be running? Because that left hook is crazy from Brian Norman Jr. That left hook, that's a crazy left hook.
Who you really worried about the left hook? I think that if they fought, see, I don't know if they're going to even fight.
No, honestly, wait.
Is it 100%?
They said
I feel like I would fight Brian Norman before he did, but we'll see. I think that Brian Norman is a really good talent, but I don't think that he will actually be able to beat Devin Haney if he pulls that same stunt. If he's moving like that, fuck Brian's punches. Who the hell cares? Oh, his hook, that's a mid-range weapon. His uppercut is a short-range weapon.
Okay.
And he'll get smacked up from the outside and boo-bopped and ran on. He'll basically get ran down on in each round. Like, like he'll like, let's put it like this. If Brian Norman comes up short in the first 4-5 rounds,
okay,
we're in for a long night.
Long night.
Yeah.
Wait,
if Brian Norman lands a punch, we'll probably be in for a short night.
Damn. Okay.
Now, what's the odds? The odds is this: Brian Norman is a good fighter, but he's not that great.
Okay.
I mean, he's a very young fighter, and he doesn't have that much experience. I haven't seen that much like things from him that makes it like, oh shit, like this dude could be a problem. No,
Okay.
he like, okay, what does he do off the back foot? What does he do out in the front foot? What does he do in short range? What does he do in long range? What does he do in like I haven't seen or even some crazy shit. I haven't even seen like some wild ass like shit that don't quite make sense like me. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen nothing out of the norm. I haven't seen nothing that proposes a real threat for somebody like Devin Haney. Like Ryan that caught him, he has a special hook. That ain't no ordinary fucking hook.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
special. Ryan shit
Yeah,
special.
that's a special hook. You know what I mean? I don't see Brian Norman have something special out of some very strong hands and really good uppercuts. He's really good at close range and mid range. You know,
Mm.
and I don't see somebody like that being able to be chasing around Devin Haney. I haven't even seen Brian Norman be able to like cut the ring off and like cover distance fast. I don't even see a lot of foot movement from him, honestly. He's just a really strong puncher. I mean, that's his genetics, you
Right.
know.
Damn.
Genetics and coming from the South, goddamn, like there's a lot of oxygen out there. They're fucking strong.
Facts. Salute Atlanta, man. Okay, so
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia, he's at odds with Golden Boy right now. He's at odds with Golden Boy. He had his tweets where he said, fuck Oscar De La Hoya. You had your issues with Oscar De La Hoya. I think you and Ryan Garcia need to fight on a Jake Paul promoted event, man. That's where it
Yeah.
needs to
It
happen.
needs, it needs to be a Netflix special with
Yes.
like all the cuttings, all the special touches of a build up where people get to see me in Guadalajara. You know what I mean? Get to see me going through the actual gyms I was at,
Right.
going through all that stuff. You know what I mean? Me building up how I looked like when I was in Philly, me going to the Philadelphia gyms. Like, you know what I mean? Talking to everybody, hanging out with Boots and Jerron. I mean Boots and his pops and everything and building that up. I would and seeing what the makings of what's happening is happening. You
Right.
know, talking about like, oh yeah, the Golden Boy fucking fucked up his career for 3 years, blase blase, and then Don King, and then the final chapter of this particular season in his life, and then also the Ryan Garcia situation, like, you know, getting locked up with a DV case, they and all this other shit that he's got going on. You know what I mean? His problems with well you know, his
With
problems with
Oscar.
drugs and all that stuff, his problems with Oscar De La Hoya. It makes for a good story. That's for damn sure. Like people will be tuning into that shit. Matter of fact, just the build up itself could sell. You know what I mean? Just the build up itself
Hell
could be a
yeah.
Netflix. And then,
Yeah.
like, you know, we make a ton of money. We give a whole lot back to the communities. I can give back to my people in Philly. You know what I mean? He can give back to his people in
Young Victorville. He in Victorville.
Victorville. Yeah, Victorville. I pass Victorville all the time, and it's hurting. Okay,
Yeah.
like it
Yeah.
might not be really hurting, but it's hurting. And you know, and do something positive, man. Shit, why not?
Okay, so you willing to squabble Ryan? I think that's an amazing fight. They're talking
I
about
think
Ryan.
that's the only fight that makes sense for Ryan
Yes,
and for me, honestly.
facts. We chat. We gotta get this Blair and Ryan Garcia fight. I think that's a great squabble. But if you couldn't get Ryan, Avius Griffith, but he's coming off a loss though. He lost though.
Who?
Avius Griffin, he was on the Jake Paul card, and he lost to what's that nigga name? Chat. What's the dude name that Avius Griffin lost to? I don't know, but how do you feel about? Wait, well, first of all, did Ryan look the same against Rolly that he did with Devin? What'd you think would happen there?
I think that like styles make fights.
Okay,
Ryan is a special fighter that has special abilities, but he's still kind of goofy, you know. And
right.
and Rolly's goofiness don't match good with Ryan's goofiness, or rather, it matches really well to a point where
Mm.
Rolly can get a win on Ryan. The only thing I didn't see is that like the fight didn't end by knockout. Usually for these type of fighters, I never would have thought that Rolly would get a like a an actual chance at winning on that level with like, a
Outboxing.
decision.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
outboxing
like
Ryan.
yeah, like technically you kind of got outboxed by Rolly.
Yeah,
And I remember having a post that said it. I was like, that's strange. That's
yeah,
really strange.
yeah. It looked kind of crazy. But so obviously you would run a squad with Rolly, but he's the WBA champ. He's looking at Pacquiao right now.
Yeah,
Um,
obviously. He's like, PBC and all that stuff. They just try to keep that belt alive, and then also keeping the big fights alive with the company. I would love to be a part of that company too, but that's how it is.
what you think of what you think of Manny's Pacquiao? What you think of that performance? Him coming out of retirement.
Um, I didn't really watch it that well.
Okay.
I think that from what I've seen, it just seemed like Pacquiao had a good enough juice to possibly pull off a decision, but obviously he's fighting the champion. You gotta fucking take the belt from the champion,
Facts.
and so no, I don't believe that he deserved a victory just because he might have won one more round, possibly. Um, it was a really good fight to say that like a 40 something year old man got in there with a world champion, the weakest of the world champions right now.
Mm.
And they got the squabble for the WBC belt based off of politics, and PBC keeping it in they ball court.
In house, yeah. In house. Damn, that's true, man. So
I don't have any hate towards them or nothing like that, and I'm not throwing any kind of shade. I'm just calling it from what I've seen so
no,
far.
you keeping it a band, bro. So Jerron Boots Ennis, he leaves 147. Um he's up to
He
he's at
leaves at 47 because he's a coward. It's not because he can't make weight.
Lord
It's not
child.
because he can't make weight. I mean, come on. He was a 141 pounder when he was an amateur. Me too.
Damn. Is Boots
Yeah.
a serial duck? Cause I've this Teofimo, Devin Haney now, Virgil Ortiz. I don't want to call him a duck, but is he a serial avoider? I don't. What do you think, Blair?
I think that at this point it's just not looking good. Like Boots need a good fight. He needs a good fight. He needs a good name. I mean, honestly, that last guy that he had, yeah, he was a champion, but he was really an email champion just like you. And based upon, let's say, stylistic makeup, he was an easy fight. And even to this day, I got better names.
Damn, that's true. That's true.
I got better names.
Boots ain't got no Broner on his resume, chat. Let's keep it a band, chat.
Or even a Maurice Hooker. Or
Or
even a Maurice
Hooker.
Hooker.
Yeah. Damn. That's real.
He rarely got a 50-50 fight. I mean, how many undefeated fighters he got on his resume?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know that last guy was one of them. I mean, I just don't think that he's really 50-50 fighting these motherfuckers. And I would love to see what happens when they flip the coin. And I remember one of these fighters, right?
Right.
They hit me up in a DM. And it'd be Philly people. Philly people talk about some, oh man, I don't know why you talking greasy about Boots, blase blase. Yo, you need to stop that. You need to stop talking mess about Boots. I'm like, yo, like I'm supposed to, like, I want to be the best. I want
Yeah.
to be great.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And man, mind you, this is another Philly fighter. I'm like, bro, why don't you call out Boots? Motherfucker, why don't you call out Boots? You know what I mean? Why are you not fighting Boots?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, weren't y'all fighting under the same banner at one point? Why are you not fighting Boots? Like, shit, you should at least want to be the best in the fucking city you at. Where you from? You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? I don't mind going ahead and coming back to Philly to take what's rightfully mine.
Mm.
And that's why the idea of me fighting him is very serious. It's very scary because he knows. And
Would,
people around him
54?
knows
Would
what
you
I'm
fight him?
capable of.
Would you fight him at 54?
I don't know. I want to do a catch weight or something, man. Like, come on. Like, fighting at 54, my trainer would say absolutely, though. I'm not going to lie about that. I
Mm.
just still want to campaign at 47, but I don't give a damn. I would fight Keith Thurman. I would fight Jerron
Let's
Boots
go.
Ennis at the 54 division and go ahead and come right back down and rightfully reclaim my fucking position in the 47 division. I want
That's
a
amazing.
damn belt in the most prestigious and toughest division there is, the welterweight division. I
Okay.
talk way too much shit not to back it up. You know, it'll be stupid for me to move up the weight classes and dip and dodge like Canelo. I want to get there at the best place
What do you
before I
what do you,
start moving up and stuff.
what do you what do you think about Terrence Crawford and Canelo? Does Crawford have a chance to beat Canelo?
I think Crawford has a chance to beat anybody. I don't ever think Crawford is over his head with anybody. He's an amazing athlete, and right now, he's quite possibly the best. You know, and like I might even say, "Oh yeah, I could beat him." That doesn't mean I'm better. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
No,
right.
like this guy has all the experience. You know what I mean? Actually, I would love to learn something from him. You know, like so. You know, that's my whole thing with him. I think that he does have a chance against somebody like Canelo. Canelo haven't been looking good for a long time,
Mm.
and he's been getting over with his name. But like somebody like Crawford takes away that name completely. He doesn't have a name when he's fighting Terrence
Right,
Crawford.
right.
You don't have any judges in your pocket. You're not gonna just win just because you're Canelo, or win just because you're a prestigious Mexican from Guadalajara, where I'm from too. You know what I mean? You're not gonna do that. So what ends up happening is you get a fair fight, and
Mm.
in a fair fight, he lost maybe his last 3 fights. In a fair fight, he probably lost his last couple fights. I mean, Skull, I don't even know who Skull is, but Skull probably won that fight. If that was just Joe Blow Nobody versus Joe Blow Nobody, that Skull probably won.
Oh, damn, you right. If the name wasn't Canelo and it was right, they probably would have gave Skull that squabble. You right.
They
You
would have
right.
probably gave that Skull that squabble. Not to mention, I don't even think there was a belt on the line. I'm not really sure
No, it
what
was
that was about.
undisputed on the line. It was undisputed.
Oh, undisputed. Wow. Yeah, like if they didn't have a name, I feel like a lot of these opponents that Canelo had would go the other way. I feel like Canelo has gotten lazy.
Damn, he might be in silk pajamas, man.
Yeah, he's
He
gotten a
might
little lazy.
be
Like
in silk pajamas. All right, so I got
he's not moving fast as he used to. He's not getting like doing things to win rounds anymore. He's just going for big knockouts. And he can win rounds just because of his name. And just because, oh yeah, he's coming forward. Yeah, I mean he did the most to get a fucking neck like that. You know what I'm saying? He was training for like years to get that fucking big giant neck. I mean, come on.
pause. We got to
So
pause the neck. That neck, we got
yeah,
to
that's
pause that.
definitely a couple pauses, but you know what I mean? So now he can't be knocked out. You know what I mean? He tried to, he got himself strong and resilient to fight somebody
Right,
like Triple G a couple times. So
right.
now it's like as long as he can step forward and put punches together that may or may not land, he wins the fight.
Right.
Problem is, I don't think that works against Crawford.
Mm.
No, if you lose the fight against Crawford, you lost the fight. You're not going to just steal that fight. You better
Yeah.
knock Crawford the hell out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You better act because you better knock Crawford out because you're not going to win rounds. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
I'm not gonna. I'm
Hopefully it
not
don't
gonna
end up
lie.
like the Charlo fight. Hopefully it don't end up like the Charlo fight because it could. You know,
Think
that's a
so?
very very big person. I think that it could be possible just because it's such a big guy that's been
Mhm.
up there for a long time,
Right.
and then you have Crawford chasing greatness and moving up in a very short amount of time.
Mm.
You know, like so I don't know. I don't know how that works out,
Damn.
but I believe in Crawford.
I got a message from Hook Like Norman. He said, Blair, I heard Joel say Rohan Polanco and Top Rank sent you a contract. He said, why did you decline? Lost respect after that Rocha rematch, maybe. Did they send you a contract for Polanco? He's a demon, by the way, too. That guy's a demon.
Yo, well, the biggest thing is not knowing where Top Rank is going.
Mm.
We don't know where Top Rank is going. ESPN is dropping Top Rank. They've they sent me a contract. They didn't really send me a contract. They just like, what do you think about fighting this guy? I'm like, okay, well, what kind of numbers you talking? You better be talking something that makes sense. I mean, my last fight was for like $500,000. What you trying to do?
Mm.
And then they were like, obviously they're like, well, we're not going to do that. I'm like, okay, well, is it going to be a main event? Yeah, no. I'm like, oh, what? So Blair The Flair is fighting this motherfucker, and it's not a main event. That means you're not promoting it. Okay, so you're trying to get me for cheap. I'm like, okay, nah. Then I'm like, you know what? So what you guys doing with your with the promotion? Oh, well, we gotta wait until blase, blase, blase. I'm like, okay, well, check this out. You figure out your thing with the networks, because the networks is what really paying me. Because
Mm.
obviously I can't really go off of promotional pay. I gotta go off of network pay. I have to get what I'm valued. You know what I mean? Like, I put on a whole lot of a performance when I get in there, and I do the very best I can. You know what I mean? To
Right.
make sure that I sell. Now you got Polanco that haven't fought nobody, and he doesn't have a name. I mean, yeah, you got ranking with no name. There's a lot of people up there in the rankings that has no name and no names on a resume. You
Mm.
know, might have been fighting consistently, but they were easy fights. Like,
Right.
I mean, that's nice that you pull like a nice little fast one, like Alexis Rocha fighting me on like a 2 week notice or some shit, or 1 week notice, fighting a lot of these guys like that. Yeah, you might be able to pull that off, but like, we would like to see you talk to somebody that's actually got a name. Now they're talking about fighting me because I'm the only person that's got a name between me and him. We need to talk
Facts.
about a real promotion, a real
Right.
promoted fight. When I whip his ass, everybody better see that shit. I did the most to make sure everybody saw that damn Broner fight. Even
Yep.
with that bullshit promotion, I made sure that I made that fight seeable and visible.
You brought
Everybody saw it.
the puppet
Everybody
out.
talked about
Yeah.
it.
Yep. Yep.
If you didn't see it, it was trending all over the gram, all over TikTok, all over YouTube.
Right.
So when you have somebody that has that type of quality, I'm not asking for a lot. You know what I mean? I just don't want to just be locked into a contract with a promotion that doesn't have my best interest and doesn't even want to like promote the fight, you know. So
Yeah,
like,
because I mean,
it
Rohan.
wasn't really it really wasn't a contract, and it really wasn't a real conversation. It just like, from what I've gained, they were going to waste my time. So
Mm.
like, I was like, okay, let's talk about something else. Let's see what else we can get together with, you know.
Yeah, because Top Rank obviously they're investing in Rohan, so they do want a name on Rohan's resume. You would have promoted the fight, and I mean, he's a demon. Like, Yeah, you got to be compensated for that, man. Like, I would go for the Ryan Garcia fight if you're going to fight like well, you know, a fight going to be promoted. That's going to be
At least it's
promoted.
going to be promoted.
Right.
I'm going to get paid. You know what I mean? At least fucking a mil net. And it would be a big fight, a big show. You know, it's not just the fact that like, oh, I'll win, but like at the same time, it's a great fight. It's a great fight. It's a great fight to put together and actually help boxing. You know what I mean? It's better for boxing that I fight Rolly, that I fight Ryan, um, that I fight Keith Thurman
Yes.
than Rohan. Boxing is dying, and they need Blair the Flair. They need a silly ass joker that says, "Oh yeah, you know what? I'm the most excited man in boxing with a dual personality, extra flashy, but still like approachable. So like I'm shaking hands and giving everybody my attention, giving everybody a little piece of like the idea of like that you could be Blair the Flair. They need somebody that's been through the fire and even in age couldn't stop them. Somebody that's so inspirational that it can change the course of everything. We need a fighter like that. The only
Fact.
reason why we watch boxing is because of the stories of the underdog. We watch boxing because of Rocky. We watch boxing because Ali wasn't supposed to beat Sonny Liston. We
Right.
watch boxing because who the hell was Manny Pacquiao?
Facts.
We watch boxing because of these things. You know what I mean? People like me, boxing actually survives. And because promotions and promoters want to play Mayweather, you know, that they kind of killing boxing. So much so, I would rather even just watch a damn slap contest. They at least they're standing still and just getting slapped
Right.
because we need those type of things. Boxing has gotten way too predictable, and we need that unpredictability of a star that can bring the entertainment value.
Facts. Why didn't you go down to the sparring wars they had in New York for the when Turkey Al Sheik had the sparring wars? Do you or you think like
I
you were
never
buck?
heard of it.
Oh yeah, they had
I
a
never heard of it.
sparring wars. They had Yo Yo down there. I think Polanco went down there too, but they was fighting to get on the Canelo Crawford card. Have you talked to anybody from Turkey's camp like to get on that card somehow?
I've been trying. Absolutely. I mean, the name alone says like I should be co-main event. And guess what? You could put me in with anybody. Like anybody. Make sure it's paid and put me in there with anybody. The show
Okay.
will be right down the street here. I live here. You don't have to pay me a damn thing. I'll show up to the fight. You know, but we'll see what happens next. What's up with the comments? What's up, you guys?
Yeah, salute to the chat, man. Salute to the chat. They said Rocha's ranked number one in WBO. You get the Haney Norman
How?
winner. I don't know how.
Okay. I don't know how these rankings really work. You know, I don't see how Rocha got up there like that. Beats me. You know, even Raul Curiel, like he's a great fighter. I love him. I know him personally, but he didn't I have that exact same belt. I had that exact same belt, bro. I fought the same guy, mind you, to get it. And I fought for it. It's just who's who's got your best interest. Golden Boy didn't have my best interest, but they have Roach's best interest, and people are really tired of seeing his ass. He's not really a show. We don't really want to see him.
I don't know how
Like
he keep getting back up there too. I don't
like
understand.
how's he? Yeah, I mean, like bro, like it should have the jig should have been up when Rashidi Ellis beat him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And anytime he gets a 50-50 fight, he loses. He loses. You know what I'm saying? The fight with me wasn't even a fair fight, bro. And you know what's funny? People don't notice that I sold and promoted that fight within 2 days. I sold the fucking crowd out within 2 fucking days. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
That's because I didn't know if I was fighting until I got in the ring damn near. They didn't give me the actual fight contract until the day of the fight, bro. I had to go through the weigh-ins, and then after the weigh-ins, I got the fucking contract. They weren't sure if we were going to fight. I wasn't sure if I was going to fight until it happened. You know what I'm saying? And like, guess what? They try to give me a 50-50 again with a better fighter, give me enough preparation and some money, then things change. Because before the Rocha fight, I almost haven't been fighting for almost a year. And it's not like I got paid for any of those other fights before. So once you're broke and all that shit, it just happens. You know, but every 50-50 fight, he loses.
Yeah,
so
we gotta get
what
that
happens in the next fight? He lost.
We got to get that back though. I wouldn't mind seeing you avenging that, bro. Getting it back.
I would love that.
Yeah,
I would love that, but there was a lot of fear that I saw in everybody's eyes when I didn't just barely make it out of a Maurice Hooker fight off the skin of my teeth. When it didn't go down like that, and Hooker takes a L, and not only takes a L, but gets knocked down 3 times in the first 2 rounds, and shit started looking sideways. And then not only that, withstand the whole fight, consistently winning every single round. That's what really scared everybody from fighting me. Because then it was like, oh, yo, we can't just wait him out. He's not just a front runner. Oh, he can change up. No, he's gonna beat Virgil. He's gonna beat Virgil. He's gonna beat Rocha in the rematch. So when we had a conversations on re-signing the Golden Boy, and I really wanted to do that. I'm extremely excited to get back to get back to the action. And they were like, okay, what we gonna do, Oscar? And they said, oh well, we have Rocha. He's like, and like the manager, he's like, okay, look, Blair The Flair runs through Rocha. What else are you gonna give him? Well, we have Virgil. So okay, do you wanna have that in writing? We're gonna need that in writing. Oscar. Nah, it's too risky. Nah, too risky.
damn.
I mean, like if he's a tough ass dude and he's the best fighter out there, and he's your best guy, and you think he can't beat me, you think that I will run through his ass, then should not be your best guy. It's not like I'm not promotable. You know what I mean? It's not like I couldn't make you a whole lot of money. So what's the problem? You know?
Yeah, I don't get it.
So it's just one of those issues that happen.
They got JoJo Diaz coming back in the ring, man. We got to get you back in the ring, bro. This is nasty, bro.
JoJo fighting?
JoJo fighting Regis.
Pro Grace. Okay.
Yeah, he fighting Regis. I don't know if that's at 147 or what.
I was thinking about pulling Regis up to 47. Go ahead and smack that up right quick.
That'd have been fire. Damn. My man Jerry Sariano said, Turkey, if you listening, we need Thurman versus Blair in November. So you would you would run the squabble with Keith Thurman at 154?
Absolutely.
We gotta make
even better. Even better, let's do a fucking catch weight. 150. Meet me halfway. I'll be cool with it. I talked to him. He said I could do that, no problem. Let's just make sure the money's right. So let's just make sure the money's right. You know what I'm saying? And we can run that squabble. You know what I mean? I got nothing but love for Keith Thurman, though. I ain't gonna hold you, but I would love to make that fight happen. I mean, what better entertainment?
That would the build up for that fight would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, like, I mean, it would probably be almost as good as the Blair The Flair fight. Like, you know,
that fight crazy too. But I think Rolly, anytime Rolly meets somebody that can talk as good as him, he always he go to the crayon route. He get quiet. He go on his crayon diet. He just don't talk no more. Just nasty. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we gotta get you. We gotta get you in there, man. I appreciate you for talking to us. What's the most realistic time frame we can see you back in the ring, bro? Or do you have any answers for that? Like realistically.
Honestly, I don't have any answers right now. We're working on things.
Okay.
And you will be one of the first to know. That's for sure. You know, yo. So shout out to Two Tone, baby.
Yo, man, you the first
Two
boxer.
Tone, the superstar.
You the second boxer to survive the Hatrix. You have survived. You have officially survived the Hatrix, man. Chilaquiles.
Get your hand out of my pocket!
A lot of boxers is scared to come talk to me, man. But you a real one, bro. You a real one, bro. I appreciate. Give your social media out, bro. They need to be following you, bro.
Look, you guys are watching the Two Tone, the Superstar podcast, and you can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Blair The Flair for more exciting content. Official BlairTheFlair.com. Woo! The most exciting man in boxing.
My dog, I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. I gotta start a fucking YouTube, man.
Yes. All right, bro. Salute Blair The Flair, man. Chilaquiles.